What is up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and we have something special for you. We've never done this before, but we're going to do it today. We have Andy and DJ
Cruise my internet.
Plus. Yeah.
French fries.
We're breaking out the mold.
Yeah, man. Dude, we had to.
We had to.
We had to do this. There's a lot of stuff happening right
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff
happening.
But we're diving into something very specific.
Okay.
Okay. We're diving into something very, very, very specific. So we had an episode come out yesterday.
Yep.
And you laid out two options.
Uh-huh.
Okay. For those of you who have not seen yesterday's episode, I highly recommend you stop watching this one and go watch the other one and listen to the other one. But if
Which
you
actually came out this morning.
Which came out today.
Yeah.
Same day release here. But in that, you laid out basically two
Look at
options.
that guy.
Damn.
That's a good looking.
Is it
right
weird
there.
to see yourself seeing yourself?
Sort of. Yeah. Shit. Look at that.
It's pretty nice.
Jack tan, handsome as fuck.
Not bad.
But apparently, according to some of the comments on the show, not a very intelligent take on what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But
Well,
if you haven't seen
at least
the
I
clip,
got the looks.
Yeah, that's right. Where did this come from? Did you put this here?
You didn't steal
I
it?
did not steal it.
Yeah?
I swear to God. I'm like, where the f did that come from?
All right.
So we had this clip. You laid out some options for us, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there was only two options. It's either Zion Don or it's this.
Mm-hmm.
This is a clip from yesterday, from today's episode. Let's check this out quickly.
The way that he is inflaming his base intentionally, the way that he's talking about this intentionally, abrasively, it appears to me that he is intentionally getting people stirred up about it so that he can then look at Netanyahu and be like, bro, I did what you said, and this is what the happened. So it's a way of Trump sort of forcing his hand, but also putting Netanyahu in a position where he can't really say that Trump isn't doing what he wants him to do.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And if you think about that demand in general, that demand makes sense because of the desperation. That's a desperate thought. Like when people are emotional and they're scared, they do stupid shit. They don't think logically. They don't think well, let's let this calm the down. They make a response, they say something, and then a lot of times it ends up making it worse.
That's the clip. All right. And again, you laid out two options. And then something interesting. So we recorded the show yesterday. For those of you guys, we recorded usually right 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, right? Guys immediately go home, they edit it. We got home, end of the day, and a truth comes out. Trump's post a truth that comes out. And for those that have not seen it yet, this is the truth. This truth comes out, okay? And it reads, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam, perpetuated by the Democrats, should end right now. Now I saw this and I immediately thought, holy shit, there it is. There he is. It's exactly, and just even the first line. How do you, am I reading this wrong?
I don't think so. Look, I still don't understand what I said, yesterday about how this is some sort of Democrat hoax.
Yeah, right.
But, let's look at the strategy of what I was saying yesterday, which would be, or today for you guys, which is, let's stir up the pot. Let's get people angry. Let's get people demanding it.
Mm-hmm.
And what he's done now is he has created a scenario where a lot of the mainstream media that is on the other side, the left, has now been criticizing him for walking back and not producing the list under the guise of, well, he's implicated in the list.
Right.
So that wasn't being said ever before. If we looked at this for the last 8 years, 10 years, the left media, which is most of the media, has generally categorized the Epstein situation as conspiracy, as total nonsense. And anybody who talks about it is a kook and a tinfoil hat, wearing conspiracy theorists. So now he has not only created an uproar around this, but he also has his biggest enemies demanding and criticizing him that it come out. And then now he comes out and he says, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity that given to Jeffrey Epstein, I've asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam perpetuated by the Democrats should end right now. Well, I think that plays into what I'm saying.
Dude, you know what's so funny, though?
Because you're walking people into a trap.
Into it.
Yeah.
Right into it. And
which is, par for the course for this guy.
Yeah. Well, bro, and I texted you this last night, too. I said, I love how these low IQ people are like, yeah, we applied the pressure. Not connecting that, like, it wasn't their fault. Like that was the
You were supposed to get mad.
You were supposed to, man.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
that's how I'm seeing it.
Bro.
I know everybody wants to judge and everybody wants to jump on one or the other. But look, bro, I didn't create this show. We didn't do this show to appease people by agreeing with them. It's about balls and strikes and what do I honestly see.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and that's okay. But this I think is conducive to me being right more than it is being wrong.
100%. So he truthed that out last night. I think it came out, 7:30 or something like that. By 8 o'clock, you got Pam Bondi reposting this on the official AG's page saying, President Trump, we are ready to move the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts. Okay. Now, this is the piece that we need to do a little dive on. I got some extra information here just to give people a better understanding of what's happening here. Because there is a lot, like we've been saying, dude, there's a lot of moving pieces here. And for anybody to think that, they can just look at this situation on the surface level and as if like that's all it is, they're completely mistaken. Because there is a lot of pieces that are moving. We talked about this also on the full CTI that came out today, because there was something that just happened that we covered yesterday. And it was the Justice Department firing Maren Comey. Okay. And the importance of this specific move coming out literally the day of all of this stuff coming out is that she was the main prosecutor on the Epstein case. We'd also covered this on the show, right? Like
she was also the main prosecutor on Ghislaine Maxwell and Diddy.
Three unique cases that are all seemingly to be about the same shit. Out of 90 plus attorney generals in the country, she's the one that runs them all.
Just to add on that, yesterday I said that we only have 53 or so prosecutors.
90, yeah.
Sorry, 93 or 94 prosecutors. There are actually 5,000.
5,000?
5,000. So one prosecutor picked for 3 cases out of 5,000 prosecutors over the whole country.
Seems reasonable.
It's very reasonable.
Definitely,
very normal.
Definitely normal.
Yeah, there's no drugs in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are my pants.
So she gets fired. Now, the important piece here is, again, it's not just about child trafficking. While that is terrible, yes. We want to know, is there a massive blackmail operation on behalf of a foreign intelligence community? Okay. That's what this indictment will show. Releasing this is going to implicate all of that because this is a probable cause statement. This is what they say. This is everything we got. We need permission to prosecute this. Maren Comey would have been the one to stop it had she still been in place. She gets fired. Now this is coming out. Now there's nothing stopping.
There's no coincidence that she gets fired in the morning and in the afternoon this comes out.
No, there's no chance, man. There's no chance. So now she's out. All right. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of look in, because we never really dived in on who Epstein actually was before Epstein was Epstein. And you start looking down those rabbit holes. I'm sure we got people in the watching and listening that have done this research, but I think it's important for everybody to kind of like understand what was actually going on here. This dude Epstein, okay, and I got some very interesting articles here. This dude Epstein, okay, he started out as a teacher. Okay, he started out as a school teacher. Okay, working at the Dalton School. Okay. The teacher, Jeffrey Epstein, would decades later face allegations, we know that, But at the Dalton School on the Upper East Side, some students saw Mr. Epstein as unusual and unsettling figure willing to violate the norms in his encounter with girls. 8 former students who attended the prestigious school during Mr. Epstein's short tenure said that his conduct with teenage girls had left an impression that had lingered for decades. One former student recalled him showing up at a party where students were drinking, while most remembered his persistent attention to on girls in the hallway in the classrooms. But here's the thing. So this dude's teaching at Dalton, which is a very prestigious school. Here's the thing. I don't know if many people knew this. He had no college degree to teach anything. He had no college degree. The dude graduated with a high school degree, and that was it. That was it.
Now he ends up at Bear Stearns and
yeah. And then 2 years after he gets fired or let go from Dalton, he then gets put in charge and gets paid $156 million to manage somebody's wealth.
Mm-hmm. Lex Wessner.
How does that work? How does that happen? How does that happen? Yeah, he left without receiving a degree. He has no college degree. Went there for a little bit, but then you're teaching. Like, it doesn't make sense, man. It does not make sense. So what do you see on this, man?
Well, I mean, look, dude, it's also important to remember that it's not just Mossad, bro. If Mossad was operating a blackmail operation, our intelligence services clearly knew about it.
Absolutely.
Including the FBI, including the CIA. So it's not just Mossad. And if our intelligence agencies worked or were aware of it, it's more likely that, especially with this, quote unquote, accusations against Diddy, that this is not just a blackmail operation for the United States, but all of the Western countries.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we look at the Western countries, they're all in a similar position that we're in, but I think they're ahead a few more years.
Yeah.
And when people really like what they don't understand, I think a lot of people, our listeners, I think, do understand this. But like your friends, your neighbors, the people who are busy just kind of being normal Americans, what they don't really understand about this is that, and I think a lot of people are losing this because they're so focused on the quote unquote child trafficking. And I think they're walking people into a scenario because there's actually not a lot of evidence of the child trafficking to ignore the reality of. And I think that's a strategic thing.
Right.
I think they're strategically trying to direct people towards the child trafficking to say, oh, there's no evidence of this or very little evidence of this, and then leaving the actual operation kind of out of the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And what people don't understand, what regular people don't understand, and this is not their fault because they have a real expectation that what they see on the news, what they see on CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, NBC, ABC, all of these channels should be based in fact. When in reality, we don't live in a world that is based in fact anymore. We don't even know if we lived in a world that was based in fact prior to all of this happening because we had no repercussions or back channels to verify the information. If they put an image of a country, missiling some other country, there was no way to really know if that was true or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And if you take that and you expand that into, these 50 Christians were killed here. I mean, bro, there could be so much happening that was left off the table. We as Americans have lived in a state of propaganda for pretty much our whole lives. And that's what people have to really understand. What we're talking about here is a blackmail operation, allegedly, that controls the messaging that goes out on your media every single day exclusively. They tell these people what to say, what to do, how to behave, what stories to cover, what stories to not cover. And this is why you see these big collages of newscasters and media personalities saying the exact same terms.
Yep.
All right. Then it's bigger than that. It's also what messagings are put out in the movies, what messagings are put out in the songs. Where are they driving culture? It's not a mistake that woke culture became a thing because they started putting it in the movies. They started putting it in the music. They started paying or quote unquote blackmailing celebrities to advocate for these social justice causes that don't make any sense. And this is how you get all of these celebrities backing the same cause, and you get all of these newscasters saying the same shit. And surely and definitively that becomes the actual narrative of truth in our society.
Right. If enough people are saying it,
correct.
It's true. Yeah.
So when we look at how what the importance and significance of Jeffrey Epstein is, it is much bigger than just some trafficking, which is terrible. Man. Okay. But they're trying to remove the understanding or keep that discussion off the table of this is how they control everything. Okay. Do you really believe that black and white people can't get along? That's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. Do we really believe that gay and straight people can't get along? No, we get along. They take these extreme cases and push until they create perceived division, which then makes things awkward in reality. And the truth of the matter is, dude, we live in a communist, demoralized state right now that has been demoralized by state media. That's what it is.
What else got defunded the other day? State media got, you know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
Like, bro, it's,
you mean the number? You mean
NPR and
NPR, the one
where
you mean that's the most credible podcast
right.
and news agency,
right.
Where we on the same spectrum,
yep.
We were rated the least credible,
most extreme.
We were the most extreme, least credible, furthest right.
Yep.
And they were the pinnacle, NPR. But now they're getting defunded of their billions of dollars of government funding. Why is the government paying them billions of dollars? It's to put out propaganda to make people believe truth that isn't actually true.
Yep.
Okay. And so what this actually is this is about the freedom of the people breaking out of this matrix that exists to propagate, control, oppress all of us that aren't with them. All right. And so this is the real deal behind the Epstein shit. It's not just about this, rich guy who videotaped his buddies having sex, with women. This is about controlling the narrative. This is about controlling the truth. This is about controlling the politicians, the actors, the influencers, the media heads, the music, everything that creates our culture is under the control of people, allegedly, who are blackmailed by this scenario.
Operation.
Correct.
Operation, dude. I'll say this, man, because I was watching some of the comments and some of, how people are replying and talking about this. And I'll say this, dude. This is Trump's, in my opinion, his final and only opportunity here to regain the trust of the people, right? Because
I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, I say that because, if there's no fruit coming off of this, right, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over for the base. It's over. That's why I say that.
There's a couple options there, too. Okay? If they repealed income tax and just went away with the IRS, I think people will forget about this.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
money.
Yeah.
So that's an option to buy people off, so to speak. Give them a big cookie and make them forget about what the real problem is. But I don't think that we should be happy with that.
Shouldn't be
I
satisfied
think
with that, yeah.
I think this is a key moment in human history where we will either crumble under the oppressive control of a very small group of elite people, quote unquote elite. They're evil people,
yeah.
Okay? Or we will demand this to come out, and it will come out, and it will show the world what the truth is, and there will be some fallout. There will be people that die. Mm-hmm. There will be attacks. There will be panic. But for us as human beings, especially Americans, to ever truly be free, this is the only thing it's the only chance we're going to have, because technology, information, data collection, observation, surveillance, all of these things are becoming very, very real. And everybody thinks like, they're going to create all this new certain, bro. You walk around with a tracking device. They record everything you say. Mm-hmm. It's already there. We're living in it. Okay. So I think it's just very important to realize that this is not just about trafficking.
Yeah.
Okay. This is about
this shallow surface level shit.
And
man.
by the way, Tulsi Gabbard came out today with a couple interesting tweets that talk about what we're talking about here as well. She tweets, Americans will finally learn the truth how in 2016 intelligence was politicized and weaponized by the most powerful people in the Obama administration to lay the groundwork for what was essentially a years-long coup against President Donald Trump, subverting the will of the American people and undermining our democratic republic, like I told you was going on for the last 5 years.
That's heavy.
Okay. Now she goes on with this, and if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see this graphic that basically is a flow chart that kind of shows how this happened. And if you follow this tweet down, she makes multiple, it's a thread where she goes through step by step by step. I would encourage everybody to go read this entire thread, okay? Because she goes down and basically breaks down how this was created, how this came about. And while this may not necessarily be, quote unquote, the Epstein situation, these two things come together as a point of control. Okay, so if you want to know what is going on, you can go read this whole tweet thread. And apparently they're going to, she says right here, these documents detail a treasonous conspiracy by official at the highest levels of the Obama White House to subvert the will of the American people and to usurp the president from fulfilling his mandate. No shit. For the last 12 years, we've been dealing with these our entire lives. Okay. So just like I've been saying, Obama and his whole crew, Clinton and all of them are traitors. They came into our country. They've been running a play against us. And now we're in a situation where our country's completely up for the will and ego and power thirst of a few people. That is treason. Okay. And then she comes out with a follow-up tweet after this is tweeted, and she says, their goal was to usurp President Trump and subvert the will of the American people, no matter how powerful. Every person involved in this conspiracy must be investigated and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. The integrity of our democratic republic depends on it. We're turning over all documents to the DOJ for criminal referral, which means she is going after these people for treason. And by the way, the punishment for treason is death. So she's saying it right here on Twitter. All right. So that's where we are.
It's going to be a...
Yeah, so what's the bottom say? It says, on Friday, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard revealed overwhelming evidence that demonstrates how after President Trump won the 2016 election against Hillary Clinton, President Obama and his national security cabinet members manufactured and politicized intelligence to lay the groundwork for what was essentially a years-long coup against President Trump. It's been going on for 9 years.
Bro.
For 9 years, we've had to deal with a divisive media, this political agenda that makes everybody hate each other, all of this manufactured racism, all of this manufactured division, all of this crazy shit, the letting in of millions, 20 million illegals were let in under Joe Biden at a minimum. Some are now saying as much as 50 million. You have a situation going on in Dearborn, Michigan today where Muslims are calling for jihad and saying that if you don't convert, you're going to die. That's happening right here in America, okay? Every single one of those people should be round the fuck up and sent somewhere else, okay? It is time for us to claim our country back, and this is all very good news. And for all of you who said, you know, oh, you're riding Trump's balls, no, I'm not. And in fact, the reason that I'm able to see all of this shit is because I have no attachment to any of it, okay? I don't have an emotional attachment. Do I hope Trump prosecutes these people and hangs them on the White House lawn? Yes, because that's what I would do. Mm-hmm. All right. Do I think he's going to do it? I don't know. But this is not bad news for what's been going on in this country for the last 9 years. Okay. And it represents the only time that we are going to be able to potentially free ourselves from this information control matrix that has basically put their hands around our necks. So all of this goes together. All of this goes together with what Snowden said about our intelligence agencies spying on Americans with the Patriot Act. Like, all of this, if they follow through, will crumble and we will end up being free. So before you just jump on some narrative that somebody's telling you and say, oh, well, I agree with that, or agree with this, or agree with that, you need to understand this is much bigger and it's way deeper than you could possibly understand. And they are certainly not putting out in the news all the information for you to make a judgment. They just aren't. Mm-mm. So,
yeah, man,
I see this as very strategic by Trump. Whether he or not he actually makes these people pay, I hope he does. They deserve it. But Trump has this flaw where he forgets how mean people were and how up they were, and has some sort of empathy for him. And I hope he loses it. Yeah. Because, dude, we won't be free until these people are held accountable. The only way for us to gain trust back in our government would be full disclosure of what actually happened, proof of what actually happened, and then accountability for what actually happened. And then maybe we will start to trust our government again. But the truth of the matter is there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of things that need to play out, and it's not as simple as people think. And, it all appears to be going the direction of what I've been saying for this entire time I've been doing this podcast.
Yeah, man.
And what do you think?
Yeah, no, that was my first time seeing the Tulsi Gabbard stuff.
Yeah.
Very reassuring. I'll be real. But I'm also of the thing too, man. It's like, we also know how they like to throw crumbs out. But that,
we can't accept,
that's not a fucking crumb. That's way bigger. Like, I mean,
we can't accept crumbs.
No.
We cannot accept crumbs. We have to get the full boat, okay? We have to get our taxes realigned. We have to get our country in the right spot. We have to get rid of these migrants completely. Anybody who doesn't want to be American needs to get the out. The power matrix needs to crumble. It needs to be dealt with. It needs to be ripped apart. And if Trump does those things, he'll go down as the greatest American hero in the history of this country. If he doesn't do those things, he will go down as a laughing stock of someone who pretended that they were a patriot who actually bitched out when it came time to follow through. So those are the two options of what we have of how this could play out.
We shall see.
Yeah. I mean,
we shall see, man.
I think the main point here is this. There's way more going on than what people truly understand. And it appears that all this inflammatory language, all of this poking and prodding and saying, we're not going to release the list and you're a moron and a weakling if you want it, was intended to suck the Democrats in to call for the list. Because now we have Democrats on the floor of Congress today
talking about it,
saying there's 4,700 wire transfers in and out of Epstein's account for over $1 billion, and that's just one of his accounts. Now these people are, Nancy Pelosi came out and called for the Epstein files. All these people are now, they hate Trump so much that they're jumping, thinking that he's not going to release it. And when he releases it, I'm sure these people are going to be implicated. So I'm seeing this as a trap. I'm seeing that he's done this before. These are things that he does. And quite honestly, it's impressive to me how stupid these are to think that they can't see what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, and dude, I could be totally wrong. Nothing could come of it. But when you have Tulsi Gabbard in public calling this treason and naming names like Obama and Clinton and putting graphics, and after we just talked about it this morning, and by the way, for the last 5-6 years straight, it doesn't seem like a bad thing.
No, not at all, man.
So,
not at all, man. Guys, tell us what you think. Let us know down in the comments what you're tracking on all of this, man.
Yep.
So,
all right, guys.
Man, that's all we got.
Yep. We'll see you on Monday. Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.
Plus.